Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. See, come. We live in a world where everybody wants to talk, explain, prove a point. But let me ask you this. Has talking ever made a man realize your worth? Come. Has chasing him, calling him, texting him, trying to make him understand ever changed how he treats you? No, it hasn't. Come. Because here's the truth. The less you speak, the more he misses you. You want to get his attention. You want him to feel your absence so deep it shakes him. Then stop handing over your energy so freely. Come. Stop letting him think you'll always be there, no matter how he treats you. Silence is power. And when you learn how to use it, come. You won't have to force anybody to miss you. They'll feel your absence all on their own. In this speech, come. I'm going to tell you exactly why silence is your greatest weapon, how to make him realize what he lost, and why the less you speak, come, the more powerful you become. So sit tight, because by the end of this, come, you're going to see just how much strength there is in saying nothing at all. When you stop talking, you create a gap, come, a space where curiosity starts to grow. It's human nature to want to fill in the blanks, come, to understand what's going on when something suddenly changes. That's exactly what happens when you go silent. He's used to you reaching out, come, responding quickly, keeping the conversation going, or even initiating things. The moment you stop, his mind starts running. Come. He wonders what happened, why you aren't speaking, and what could have changed. And that curiosity, it's powerful. It pulls at him, come, making him think about you in ways he probably didn't before. See, most people think that if they stop talking to someone, come, that person will simply forget about them. But that's not how the human mind works. The more you try to force someone to notice you, come, the more they push you to the side. But when you pull back, that's when they start to notice, come. It's almost like a song you've heard a million times. It becomes background noise. You don't even think about it anymore, come. But the moment that song stops playing, you notice its absence. You might not have appreciated it when it was there, but once it's gone, come, you suddenly realize how much it was part of the atmosphere. When you stop speaking, when you stop giving your energy away so freely, come, he starts noticing what's missing. Maybe it's the good morning text he took for granted, come. Maybe it's the way you always listened when he needed to vent. Maybe it's the effort you put into checking up on him. Whatever it is, come. He starts to feel that absence. And let me tell you something. People don't miss things that are constantly in their face. Come. They miss what's no longer accessible. Now, don't get me wrong, silence alone isn't enough. Come. It's not about playing games or trying to manipulate someone into caring. It's about shifting your focus away from someone who isn't valuing you and putting that energy back into yourself. When you stop speaking, come, you're also giving yourself room to listen to your own needs, your own wants, your own emotions. And when you start prioritizing yourself, come, that's when people really start to notice. He will start wondering why you aren't texting back. He'll start checking his phone, come, scrolling through old conversations looking for clues. Did something happen? Is she mad? Is she talking to someone else? Come. That uncertainty drives curiosity, and curiosity leads to thinking. And the more he thinks, the more he starts to feel. Now here's the key. You have to stay silent long enough for him to actually feel it. Come. Some people panic when they don't get a reaction and break the silence too soon. They think, oh, come, maybe he didn't notice, or maybe I should just send a quick message so he doesn't forget about me. But that defeats the whole purpose. Come. Because the truth is, the longer you hold your silence, the more powerful it becomes. Think about it like this, come. If you walk out of a room and someone follows you immediately, you might not even register that they left. But if you walk out and 20 minutes pass, come, and then an hour, and then a day, people start to notice. They start looking for you. They start wondering why you left, come. That's exactly how silence works. And here's what makes it even more powerful. It forces him to confront his own feelings. Come. When you're always there, he doesn't have to think about how much he actually cares. Come. He doesn't have to wonder what life would be like without you. But when you go quiet, when you stop being so available, come. He has no choice but to sit with those thoughts. And those thoughts, they will make him miss you. Now, come. This isn't about making someone chase you just for the sake of it. This is about understanding your worth. Come. When you stop giving your time and attention to someone who isn't valuing it, you make it clear that you are not someone to be taken for granted. You show that you are someone who deserves effort, who deserves appreciation. And let me tell you, that shift in energy, that's what makes him realize your value. Curiosity is a powerful thing. When someone is curious, they start paying attention. Come. They start noticing details they never noticed before. And when you take your presence away, you create a mystery that he wants to solve. Come. That's why silence works. It makes him think, it makes him feel, and most importantly, it makes him miss you. When you talk less, come, you give him room to wonder about you. You create an air of mystery, and let me tell you, come. Mystery is one of the most powerful tools when it comes to human attraction. When someone knows everything about you, become. When you're always available, always responding, always explaining yourself, they start to feel like they have you figured out. Come. And once someone feels like they have you figured out, they stop thinking about you as much. There's nothing left for them to explore. Come. But when you start talking less, when you stop explaining yourself all the time, that's when the questions start forming in his mind. Come. And trust me, those questions will make him think about you more than anything you could ever say. See, men are wired to be curious. Come. When something doesn't add up, when a pattern changes, their brain automatically kicks into detective mode. Come. If you've been the one keeping conversations going, if you've always been the one initiating, if you've always been the one making sure he knows how you feel, and suddenly you stop doing all that, his mind will not let it go. Come. He'll start wondering, why is she not talking as much? What's changed? Is she mad? Is she losing interest? Come. Is there someone else? And that right there is the power of silence. It forces a man to think. And when a man is thinking about you, come, he's feeling something for you. That's just how it works. The things we think about the most are the things we care about the most. Come. So by pulling back, by talking less, by being less available, you shift the dynamic. Come. You go from being someone who is always there to someone who he now has to work to understand. Now, come, let's be clear. This isn't about playing games or trying to manipulate anyone. This is about understanding human psychology. Come. People value what they have to work for. It's just the way we're wired. If something is too easy, if something is too predictable, come, it loses its appeal. But when something has an air of mystery, when it feels like there's more to uncover, we can't help but be drawn to it. Come. Think about it this way. Imagine you're watching a movie, and from the very first scene, you already know exactly how it's going to end. Come. No twist, no surprises, just a straight, predictable story. How interested are you going to be? Probably not very much. Come. But if that movie starts off in a way that leaves you with questions, if there's a sense of mystery, if there are layers to uncover, you're going to stay engaged because you want to know more. The same principle applies to relationships. Come. When you stop being an open book, when you stop handing over all the answers, you make him want to figure you out. Come. And here's another important thing to understand. When you talk less, you create space for him to step up. A lot of women don't realize this. Come. But sometimes the reason a man isn't putting in effort is because he doesn't have to. If you're always filling in the silence, come. If you're always making sure the conversation is flowing, if you're always giving, he doesn't have to do anything. Come, he can just sit back and take it all in without having to contribute. But the moment you stop doing that, come, the moment you stop putting in all the effort, he has two choices. Either step up and start putting in the work, or let the silence take over. Now, come. Here's the truth. If he actually cares, he's not going to be okay with the silence. He's going to start reaching out. Come. He's going to start initiating. He's going to start asking questions. he's going to start putting in the effort that maybe he didn't before. Come. And that's what you want. You want to be with someone who values you enough to meet you halfway, not someone who only engages when it's convenient for them. But if he doesn't step up, if he's fine with the silence, come. Then that tells you everything you need to know. Because a man who truly values you will notice when you pull back. He will feel your absence, come, and he will not be okay with it. So by talking less, you accomplish two things. First, you create curiosity, which makes him think about you more, come. And second, you give yourself a chance to see who he really is when you're not the one doing all the work. Does he step up? Does he try to engage? Come. Does he show you that he values you? Or does he just let the distance grow? At the end of the day, talking less is not about playing mind games. Come. It's about protecting your energy. It's about making sure you are not overextending yourself for someone who isn't putting in the same effort. Come. And most importantly, it's about shifting the focus back onto yourself. Because the more you focus on yourself, the more confident, come, the more attractive, and the more powerful you become. And that is something no man can ignore. When you stop talking so much, come, you give him space to feel your absence. And let me tell you something about human nature. People don't value something until it's missing. Come. When you were always there, always responding, always initiating, he got used to that. He knew that no matter what, he could reach out and you'd be there. He never had to wonder. He never had to miss you. Come. He never had to sit with the silence and feel what life would be like if you weren't there. But when you pull back, come, when you stop being so available, that silence becomes loud. And that's when he starts to realize just how much you were adding to his life. Can you see? Men aren't always aware of what they have when they have it. Sometimes, come, it takes losing something, or at least feeling like they might lose it, for them to wake up. When you stop talking, come. When you stop giving him constant access to you, he's going to notice. And that absence, it's going to create a shift. Suddenly, come, the person who was always there, always checking in, always making sure he was okay, is now quiet. Come. And let me tell you something, that kind of quiet is louder than any words you could ever say. Now, come. This isn't about punishing him or playing games. This is about letting him experience life without you for a little bit. Come. It's about letting him sit in that space where you used to be and realize that something is missing. Because when you're always there, come. When you're always reaching out, he doesn't have to miss you. He doesn't have to think about what it would be like if you weren't around. Come. He doesn't have to question anything. But when you go quiet, oh, trust me, he's going to feel it. And when he starts feeling that absence, come, that's when the thoughts start creeping in. He'll start asking himself, why hasn't she texted me? Why hasn't she called? Is she mad? Come. Is she moving on? Is she losing interest? And once those thoughts start, they don't stop. Come. That's because people always assume the worst when they're left with silence. They fill in the blanks with their own fears, come, their own insecurities, their own doubts. And here's the beautiful thing. If he really cares about you, he's not going to be okay with that silence. He's going to start making moves. He's going to try to reach out. He's going to start doing what he wasn't doing before. Why? Because now he's feeling something. Now, come, he's realizing that maybe he took you for granted. Maybe he didn't appreciate all the little things you used to do. Come. Maybe he thought you'd always be there, and now he's not so sure. Come. You ever notice how people don't start valuing something until they think they might lose it? It happens all the time. Come. Think about when you're about to lose a job, and suddenly that job that you used to complain about doesn't seem so bad anymore. Come. Think about when a favorite restaurant closes down and suddenly you wish you had gone there more often. It's human nature. Come. We don't appreciate what's always available because we assume it'll always be there. But the second it's gone, or even just feels like it's slipping away, that's when we wake up. Come. And this is exactly what happens when you stop talking so much. You give him the space to experience what life is like without your presence. Come. And if he truly values you, he won't be okay with that. He'll start thinking about you. He'll start missing the little things. Come. He'll start realizing that maybe he didn't give you the attention you deserved. And suddenly that silence that he thought was no big deal, come. It becomes the loudest thing in his world. Now here's the key. When he does start reaching out, come. Don't immediately go back to how things were before. Let him put in some effort. Let him show you that he's serious. Come. Because if you just go right back to being the one doing all the work, then he'll know that he doesn't have to change. Come. But if he sees that he has to actually step up to get your attention again, come. Then he's going to realize that he can't take you for granted anymore. And let's be honest, if he doesn't reach out, if he doesn't miss you, if he doesn't feel that absence, then that tells you everything you need to know. Because a man who truly values you will not let you slip away in silence. So remember, this silence is powerful. It forces people to feel. Come. It forces people to reflect. And most importantly, it forces people to decide, do they step up or do they let the silence grow? Come. And if he's willing to let the silence grow, then girl, he was never really there to begin with. When you stop talking, come. You create space for curiosity. And let me tell you something, curiosity is a powerful thing. It makes people wonder. It makes them question, come. And most importantly, it makes them feel. When you were always available, when you were always the first to text, call, or check in, come. He never had to wonder about you. He never had to think twice. You were predictable, reliable, always there. But when you pull back, come. When you step into silence, suddenly there's a gap. And gaps create curiosity. Think about it. When you watch a good movie or read a great book, come. What keeps you hooked? It's the unanswered questions. It's the suspense. It's that feeling of, come, what's going to happen next? The moment you stop being so available, you become a mystery. And mystery is intriguing. It's attractive, come. It makes people want to know more. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. If I go silent, won't he just forget about me? No, come. If he truly had feelings for you, if he ever cared, he's not just going to forget. That's not how human nature works. Come. When something shifts unexpectedly, it gets our attention. When something we took for granted is suddenly different, we notice. Come. And when a person who was always there suddenly isn't, we start to wonder why. The key here is not to force curiosity. It happens naturally. Come. When you stop reaching out, when you stop initiating, when you stop giving him the comfort of knowing you're always there, come. He's going to start thinking about you. He's going to wonder where you are, what you're doing, and most importantly, come. Why you stop being the way you used to be. Come. And let me tell you something about curiosity. It's not just about wanting to know what's going on in the moment. It triggers something deeper. It makes a person replay past interactions. It makes them rethink conversations. It makes them analyze things they never paid attention to before. Come. Maybe he starts wondering why you always used to ask about his day. Maybe he remembers that you used to check in on him when no one else did. Come. Maybe he starts realizing that all those little things you did weren't just small gestures. They were signs of love, care, and effort. Come. And once those thoughts start creeping in, they don't stop. Curiosity grows. It turns into questions, then into concern, and finally into action. That's when he starts reaching out. That's when he starts checking your social media, asking mutual friends about you, or even sending that, come, hey, just wanted to see how you've been text, because now he's feeling something. Now, come, he's realizing that maybe he took you for granted. Maybe he assumed you'd always be there, and now he's not so sure. Now, come, here's the part where you need to stay strong. When he does reach out, don't just fall right back into your old patterns. If you do, come, the curiosity disappears. He gets his answer, and he goes back to being comfortable. But if you stay in your silence just a little longer, come. If you don't immediately jump to respond, you give him the chance to work for it. You give him the opportunity to show you that he actually cares. Because a man who is genuinely interested will not be satisfied with half answers. He won't be content with casual responses. He will try harder. Come. Think about it. When you really want to know something, do you just stop after one attempt? No. If it's important, if it matters to you, you keep trying. That's what curiosity does. It makes people pursue the truth. And when a man starts pursuing answers about you, come. That's when you know he's feeling something real. This isn't about manipulation or playing games. Come. It's about giving him the space to recognize your value. When you're always available, he doesn't have to think about you. Come. But when you step back, he has to. He has to fill in the blanks. He has to sit with his thoughts. And in doing so, come, he starts to realize just how much you brought into his life. So don't be afraid to go quiet. Don't be afraid to let him wonder. Come. Because that curiosity, that's the beginning of him truly seeing what he had in you. When you stop talking, you take control. Silence is not weakness. Silence is not surrender. Silence is power. And when you learn to use it correctly, come, you can shift the entire dynamic of a relationship. See, most people think that in order to be heard, they have to be the loudest in the room. Come. They think that if they aren't constantly reminding someone of their presence, they'll be forgotten. But the truth is, the less you speak, come, the more weight your words carry. The less you reach out, the more your absence is felt. When you're always the one initiating, come, always the one checking in, always the one filling the space with words, he never has to wonder about you. He never has to think, come, I wonder what she's doing right now, because he already knows. Come, you've given him all the answers before he even had a chance to ask the questions. But the moment you go silent, come, the moment you stop feeding him all that information, suddenly there's a shift. Suddenly you become unpredictable. Come, and unpredictability breeds curiosity. Curiosity leads to reflection. And reflection, that's where real emotions surface. Let's break it down. Come, imagine you have a song you love. You play it over and over every single day. At first, you can't get enough of it. But after a while, come, it just becomes background noise. You don't even notice it playing anymore. But then one day you stop listening to it. Come, you take it off your playlist. You don't hear it for weeks. And out of nowhere, one day the song comes on again. And suddenly, come, it hits you different. You're like, man, come, I forgot how good this song was. That's what happens when you remove yourself from someone's life for a while. Come, a man cannot miss what he still has access to. If you're still sending texts, if you're still showing up, if you're still available, come, he doesn't get a chance to feel your absence. And if he never feels your absence, he'll never truly understand your value. Come, people only appreciate what they think they might lose. And silence. That's the first step to making him realize that. Now, come, let's be clear. This isn't about playing games. This isn't about punishing him. This is about shifting the energy. Come. This is about giving him the opportunity to step up. Because when you go silent, you force him to make a decision. Does he notice? Come. Does he care enough to reach out? Does he start to realize what he took for granted? If the answer is no, come. Then that silence saved you from wasting more time on someone who didn't value you in the first place. But if the answer is yes, if he starts wondering, if he starts reaching out, come, then you've just made him realize something powerful. Your presence in his life was never something to be taken lightly. Come. And here's where a lot of people mess up. The moment he reaches out, they jump right back in. They respond immediately, come. They fall back into old habits, and before you know it, the cycle repeats. Come. But you have to understand that the first reach out isn't always genuine. Sometimes it's just a reflex. Come. He's just checking if you're still there. If you respond too quickly, if you make it too easy, he'll fall right back into his old ways. He'll think, oh, she's still there. I don't need to do anything different. That's why you have to hold your ground. Come. When he reaches out, don't rush to reply. Take your time. Show him that your silence wasn't just a temporary stunt. It was a shift in mindset. Come. When you do respond, keep it short. Keep it light. Make him work for your energy again. Come. Let him feel what it's like to actually have to win your attention back. Because a man values what he has to earn. Come. If he had you too easily before, if you were always available, he didn't have to put in effort. But when you go silent, you reset the balance. Come. You remind him that your presence is a privilege, not a guarantee. And here's the beautiful part. When you do this, you'll see the truth. Come. If he really cares, he won't just send one message and disappear. He won't just check in and then go back to acting distant. Come. He will start to invest. He will start to put in effort. Because now he realizes that if he doesn't, he could actually lose you. Come. And that's when his true feelings come to the surface. Silence isn't just about making him miss you. Come. It's about giving him the space to realize how much he actually needs you. And when you master that, you don't just regain your power. You make him appreciate you in a way he never did before. When you stop talking, come. You stop giving him the comfort of knowing you're always there. And let me tell you, come. Silence is not just an absence of words. It's a presence of power. The moment you go quiet, come. You shift the energy in a way that forces him to pay attention. He may not notice it right away, but trust me, he will feel it. See, come. People take for granted what they assume will always be available. If you're constantly texting, calling, checking in, or making yourself emotionally accessible, there's no room for him to miss you. Come. There's no space for him to wonder about you because you've already given him all the answers. But when you stop speaking, come. You create that space. You make him realize what life feels like without you in it. And that's powerful. At first, come. He might not react the way you expect. He might act like it doesn't bother him. He might go about his day thinking nothing has changed. But then, come, something shifts. Maybe it's the routine you broke. Maybe it's the realization that his phone isn't lighting up with your messages anymore. Come. Maybe it's that moment when he instinctively reaches to call you, only to remember, wait, she hasn't reached out. Come. And that's when the weight of your absence starts to settle in. See, men operate differently from women when it comes to emotions. Come. While you might process things in the moment, men tend to process emotions with delay. It's not immediate. But when the silence stretches on, when the absence continues, he starts to feel it. That's when the thoughts start creeping in. Did I do something wrong? Is she moving on? Come. Is she talking to someone else? And let me tell you, the moment a man starts wondering about you, that's when he starts realizing your worth. Come. But here's where you have to be strong, because the first reaction from him might not be what you expect. He might send a casual text. Come. Something light just to see if you'll respond. Hey, hope you're doing good. That's not effort. That's a temperature check. Come. He's just trying to see if he still has access to you. If you respond immediately, if you engage the way you used to, you've just given him confirmation that nothing has really changed. And just like that, the cycle repeats. Come. That's why you have to hold your ground. If he truly values you, he won't stop at one text. Come. He won't just send a hope you're okay message and disappear. A man who realizes he might actually lose you will step up. Come. He'll start putting in effort. He'll call. He'll check in more seriously. He'll ask to see you. Come. And that's when you know your silence worked. Because now he's realizing that you're not just sitting around waiting for him to notice you. Come. You're living your life. And that's what makes you more valuable in his eyes. Come. Here's the biggest mistake people make when they go silent. They think the silence alone is enough. Come. But it's not just about stopping communication. It's about what you do in that silence. This is your time to focus on yourself. Come. To rebuild your confidence. To pour into your own happiness. Because when you stop chasing him, you start attracting him. Not because of a game, but because you've shifted your energy. A confident woman who is at peace with herself is magnetic. She doesn't have to beg for attention. Come. And when a man senses that, it triggers something deep inside him. He wants to be part of that energy again. Now, come. Let's be real. Not every man will step up. Some men will let the silence stretch on, and that's your answer right there. Come. If he doesn't notice your absence, if he doesn't care enough to check in, then he was never truly invested in the first place. Come. And as painful as that might feel, it's also a blessing, because now you know. Come. Now you're not wasting any more time on someone who didn't see your value. Now, come. You can move forward and make space for someone who actually will. But for the ones who do step up, come. For the ones who suddenly realize that your presence in their life was a gift, that's when you have the control. Come. That's when you get to decide, does he deserve another chance? Has he actually changed? Is he ready to meet you at the level you deserve? Come. And if the answer is no, then you keep moving. Come. Because the most powerful thing a woman can do is know her worth and refuse to settle for anything less. So, come. The next time you feel like you have to convince a man of your value, remember this: the less you speak, the more he listens. The less you give, come, the more he appreciates. And the moment you go silent, come, you give him the greatest opportunity of all, the opportunity to realize just how much he truly needs you in his life.